She don't work, but I know she work for that. The bang, 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 yo. Because she kill them with style, kill them with style, kill them with style, kill them with style. She a kill them with style. Bless them. India, where them like, boom. The Bollywood scene, like, or actors like Priyanka.
Priyanka is a singer too.
She sings as well. And very beautiful, I might add. And so, yeah, I would do a song with her.
Hello everyone, my name is Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. I have a very special guest today. It's highly unlikely that you haven't danced to one of his very popular tracks. I have with me today the immensely popular rapper, singer, record producer, Sean Paul. Welcome to India and Zoom.
Thank you. What's up? Thank you for the time.
How have you been in this pandemic? You have a new track out, so I know you've been busy working. What I want to know, Sean, is why did you want to go with Only Fanz as a concept?
Yeah, the song came about by me and a couple of people in studio. We just talk about everything that's on our minds, and get to the work. So that inspires us to write songs. And one day we were speaking about the power of the internet and these different social media things that have happened, and also speaking about how women a couple of decades ago weren't as empowered in the workplace. And the topic came up about TikTok and about Facebook and YouTubers and also Only Fanz. So we started to write the song, but we chose the name Only Fanz because of what can I say? Maybe a little controversy, and people would be like, "Wait, what? Sean Paul has an Only Fanz page by himself? What?" So we kind of strategically named it that. However, it was just about mainly women being able to step into that workplace, which is the internet now, and show whichever talent they have, whether it's to do a TikTok video or be a great vlogger on YouTube. So that's what really made us come up with a concept and name it Only Fanz. It's an ode to women who can be independent using the medium of the internet. A lot of times Only Fanz is viewed as more of a sexual thing. And so that's why I used it instead of TikTok, instead of YouTube or Facebook. My music is very sexually oriented. And so we went with Only Fanz. But yeah, it's controversial in that respect for some people. They see it as that's a bit risque.
I was going to start the interview with adding the words temperature somewhere. And I thought that would be too much of a cliche. I'm like, no. But the reason why I was going to do that is I hope, of course, globally, you have such amazing tracks that people can't stop grooving to. But temperature, I think, is crazy in India. How did your life change post that track? Because, you were already popular. Then you came up with this, and then you went like all the way. So tell me how life changed after that.
Every time that we make music, we hear the hit. The general public may not hear it. The artist is always the one or the producer that comes up with a concept, and some of them don't become big. And you take that chance every time. It's reminiscent of in my video, Give Me the Light, when I stepped into the dark. I felt the ground and there was nothing there, and then I stepped and the square lit up. So that India love, and that you're saying that it plays and played in every club is an amazing thing. It's still a big song in my repertoire. It was one of my number one on Billboard songs, and I will forever be singing this song. So I would have not minded the joke of me heating up the place then, or changing the temperature. It blew my mind to see that this is 15 years later now, to hear, see kids doing moves to temperature and get busy. Famous people like Jennifer Lopez doing it. It's pretty cool.
Your father is a Portuguese, Portuguese Jewish. Your mom is Chinese Jewish and English, and there's so many cultures in your house. Tell me how much of that impacted when you were making music and when you started off. So I want to know how difficult that was for you then, and the impact of your cultures and the mixed culture that you have in your family and your songs.
In Jamaica in general is a diverse place. People may not think so, but there's many different cultures here. And so me growing up, it's a small island too. You get influenced by that. And with that being said, growing up in an environment like that, it made me and my music genre, not just me, like the genre of dancehall is very versatile. Any track that we want to express ourselves on, we're able to do it because we are an expressive and spicy people, So I owe a lot of that to Jamaica. I honestly do. When making music, I have that to give thanks for. That I grew up in a culture with such an icon like Bob Marley being the forefront, and people like Super Cat and Shabba Ranks and Shaggy doing their thing and teaching me. I have to give thanks for that. Other than that, I give thanks for the fans, the people who really enjoy my work. I've been told my tone of voice is very distinctive. A few people find it annoying. Some people find it. Most people, to me, my knowledge, have found it amazing, and I have to thank them for that. It's been 20 years. It's been an amazing ride.
But what was your initial struggle?
In Jamaica, the original struggle or maybe weirdness was that, I came from an uptown community, that's a middle class or upper class existence. And where the music was made, dancehall music especially, was from the ghetto, from inner city communities. So I stood out and people were like, who's this guy? So I just used that to my advantage. It was really, being seen. And I thought, hey, if people are going to see me, that's, just off the jump, that's going to be amazing. And I always try to remember that. And I always try to take part in the history of the music.
Bollywood always tries to collaborate with the most popular artist. I'm sure in the past, there have been attempts made to directly collaborate with you. So I want to know, has that happened?
You know what? It's very funny. I've never been offered to do a full, a Bollywood track. I've worked with people who are, what can I say, in the industry in India, in the music industry, but not specifically Bollywood. And it's funny because dancehall music is, in terms of how we dance, everybody doing the same type of move. It really reminds me of a Bollywood scene. Maybe you help me put out the word and some big artists can say, yeah, make we link up, Sean.
Along with your greatest hits, you also have the greatest collaborations that went berserk. I mean, of course, Baby Boy, Beyonce, Cheap Thrill, Sia, and the list is kind of endless because these songs are so popular even now. But will that ever happen again? Do you sometimes feel like you want to go that route again and collaborate with someone and make something like that, again? And, and especially with Beyonce and Sia.
Yeah, I would love to work with Beyonce again. I've not seen her in quite some time. And she's been putting out some brilliant music. She's a very talented artist. Me and Sia collaborated and got a #1 song, and I'm happy to say that we have collaborated again. I think she's an amazing, talented voice, amazing writer. And so I'm very happy to have her on a song called Dynamite, which will be released later down. It's on the album Scorcher, the new album that I'm about to put out. So big up to Sia and Beyonce. I would love to work with Beyonce, but I've worked with Sia again. And
are there any artists that you like? Have you heard any Indian artists or any Indian musicians that you like?
I'm not familiar with names, I really am not familiar with names. Okay. Probably more the Bollywood scene, or actors like Priyanka, what's her name again? Pardon me?
Priyanka's a singer too. Priyanka is a singer too.
She sings as well. I'm very beautiful, I might add. And so, yeah, I would do a song with her, but it depends on the song. Before I've me and some big artists have gotten in the studio and we just didn't click on the song. Maybe the conversation was too riveting and we liked the conversation more, but we didn't do work. Indian ladies are beautiful. So that's my first thing. Also the food. I think I could be a vegetarian if I lived in India. I honestly could. The food is amazing. She don't want no husband, she just wanted checks. X one to the next one, she don't have no regrets. There's a gal in her trouble. You know the little person where she carry her shovel. But come on, art and I care how she hustle. She had them one time, I saw the girl juggle me, said she don't work, but I know she work for that, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a bunch of quick and very interesting questions now, then moving on to the next segment. So Here we go. Are you ready, Sean?
Yep.
What's the rumor about yourself that you find really funny?
A lot of times people think I'm from their territory. In the early years, I used to have people in New York that were Guyanese say, I hear you are from Guyana. I used to have people from Trinidad say, nah, he's Trinidadian. And I used to have people who are from, the Middle East. I said, no, I hear that he has Middle East roots. I just look like a lot of different people, even to my own family. I remember seeing my uncle who lives in Canada after many years. And he first saw me, the first time he saw me with a beard, I came up to Canada and he was like, man, you look like you're from, Middle East. Where you look like an Arab? And I'm like, whoa. So that's funny. No one can pinpoint where I'm from except for me.
What's the weirdest fan comment or message that you've ever read or received?
Every now and then you'll find someone on the internet either just poking a joke at me or just so enthused by, what I've done that they just constantly, go in. And so I remember the first time that I got my mohawk, which is about 2009. And I thought, this is different. Nobody's gonna look like me now. Like, everybody with the braids. I've just, what is the word? I've tricked them.
Unique.
I'm now unique and everything. And then I walked into a hotel in, I think it was somewhere in Europe. It might have been Germany, and seeing somebody with the exact same glasses that I had been wearing, and the mohawk and a shirt that I had on before. He looked like, I thought I was looking in the mirror. And I was like, whoa.
What is one thing rappers need to stop doing?
Year by year, maybe I'm getting a little mature, but I just don't love the content. You know what I mean? There's people in the hip hop industry that are talking about killing each other, and they're killing each other. And I think we need to stop talking about death and talk about life a lot more. Death surrounds us. It's everywhere. It's bad news surrounds us. It's everywhere. So I think music should be to bring people together and uplift people.
When you came in the music industry, what was the biggest misconceptions that was spread about you?
For me, in my own country, that I couldn't perform on stage. I didn't follow the same format that every dancehall artist did. I kind of had a more international outlook as to how I should perform. Being that there was so much dancehall artists and so much people doing the same thing, I just got tired of seeing that. And I decided to develop my act where, if I was in Timbuktu or if I was in anywhere in like Bangladesh or Bangalore, that people would appreciate the performance, and it wasn't just a niche audience. A lot of people at first used to say in Jamaica, oh, you can't perform. So I think I can perform though.
What do you think about India, and a message for your Indian fans?
Oh, wow. I love India. It is also one of my wife's favorite places. She would love to visit. She's never been. But my first thing is that it's going to be a conflict with me and her because Indian ladies are beautiful. So that's my first thing. Also, the food. I think I could be a vegetarian if I lived in India. I honestly could. The food is amazing, tasty and spicy and nutritious. I mean, the turmeric, that the different madras curries and all of this stuff. For me, it's amazing. And as I said, I could be a vegetarian there. Those are some of the reasons that I really found a love for India and a great history. There's so much history there, so much things to see. Also, it's something that I've probably just done. I mean, one of the greatest philosophers for me was Mahatma Gandhi. To just I went to the place where he was buried, his burial site, and just to be in that environment was a very spiritual thing for me. It was an honor to be there. So all of those reasons are in there for me.
Moving on to a very fun segment of you were just discussing about fan comments. So this segment is you responding to a few comments that we picked out online, and you can say whatever you want to that. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
This is an Indian fan of yours. They say, Sean Paul's Temperature was my first English song ever. Still a legend.
I appreciate that, bro. It's in patois, so it's broken English. But yeah, I'm thanking him for the accolades. I appreciate that you love the music.
Did any of you know that Duolingo is making a setting to learn Sean Paul?
to learn how I speak. Eh? Whoa, that's funny. You know what? Patois, that the language that I do speak in the songs and with my friends here, is something that evolves all the time. So you probably won't be able to have an app teach you, because you learn something today and 4 years down the road, that won't be what we're talking. We won't say that. So no app is going to be able to teach you. You have to keep up with Jamaica.
It says Proud Indian, and it says Sean Paul is the first human in history that speaks doctor's handwriting.
That's hilarious. Speaker handwriting. Yeah, it's hard to understand doctor's handwriting.
Sean Paul's parents are still waiting for the first word because he rapped so fast.
Wow. I think my mom might agree with you when she listens to my songs.
But I think it's crazy. Thank you. You were such a sport. I love that. But how can I let you go without, of course, making you do a little bit of Only Fanz in the normal speed that we heard it? So can we hear some Only Fanz from you?
I got you. Hey, yo! She don't work, but I know she work for that, yeah. She don't work, but I know she work for that, yeah. She's a flirt for all the gifts and chips and cash, yeah. She don't work, but I know she work for that. With a bang, 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 just so the girl flex. Real gold digger, it no make sense, you vex. Coming on the money, then it's on to the next. She no want a husband, she just want the checks. X one to the next one, she don't have no regrets. There's a girl in her trouble. You know the Louis person where she carry her shovel. But come on, art and a care how she a hustle. She had them one time, I saw the girl juggle me, say she don't work, but I know she work for that, yeah. She don't work, but I know she work for that, yeah. She's a flirt for all the gifts and chips and cash, yeah. She don't work, but I know she work for that. Bang, 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 yo. Because she kill them with style, kill them with style, kill them with style, kill them with style. She a kill them with style. Bless them. India, where them like, boom.
Woohoo! Show off, everybody.
Hey.
Listen, this is not going to be enough. You're giving us like a Zoom call concert. When are you coming to India and giving like a full-blown concert with everything?
Oh, wow. You know, last time I was there was about 3 years ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. You know, we went to a couple different cities, I think about 6 different cities or different shows in different places. So, you know, I'm looking to come back. In this pandemic, I've only gotten one of the shots so far. So I'm going to wait on my second one, and then I will try to be there sometime next year. I gave myself 2 years. And so for that reason, is the reason why I'm doing so much music in the studio right now. If anybody misses me, they could go check out our album called Live and Living. That's the one I put out in March. And then I'm about to put out Scorcher, which will come out in, I think, later this year. But Only Fanz is the first single from it. And, you know, I just want to tell people in India, thank you very much for the love. And I will soon be there. There is nothing that can keep me away from coming back to your country.
Thank you. It's lovely chatting with you.
Appreciate it.
I really, really hope that, you know, the world goes back to being what it was, you know, before the pandemic. The world heals faster and we all can attend a Sean Paul concert in India again and have a crazy time. Thank you, Sean, for being cool.
India, stay positive and enough love. Thank you for the time, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Lots of love to you, Sean.
Hey.